SOLIDWORKS MBD is a great solution to help manufacturers create and distribute critical design information directly in the model rather than via 2D drawings. Let's first take a look at some of the enhancements SOLIDWORKS 2017 brings to the way you create that information. You can now automatically create polar dimension schemes such as this pattern of holes. Simply select the front face and central hole as datums, one of the hole pattern members, and SOLIDWORKS takes care of the rest. Simple. It's also easy to now reuse the datums you just created. Rather than reselect geometry, you can simply select each of the datum symbols and the hole pattern is accurately dimensioned as per our standards. SOLIDWORKS 2017 also simplifies the process of creating dimensions manually. You can now select edges just like a drawing, saving the time and effort of constantly rotating the model to access the faces you need. You can now add basic dimensions of size such as these key radii. This gives you the freedom to define the model exactly how you need it. A great new enhancement is the ability to dimension to reference features such as planes, axes, points, and even this centre of mass symbol. This means you can much more accurately describe the design intent of your models. 3D views can be sorted by configuration, display state or history. You can also manually reorder them to accurately emphasize the manufacturing process. Previously, you could only create a single 2D notes area. Now this limitation is gone, meaning you can deliver personalized text notes for individual 3D views. The accurate definition of drafted components for casting and moulding has always been a challenge. Let's take a look at this moulded motor housing and see how SOLIDWORKS 2017 can really help us. The diameter of the intersection of the drafted surface and the end face would be a typical dimension to know. You can now easily create this using the improved intersection circle capability between the two surfaces. Another typical requirement is to define the diameter of a drafted surface at a given distance from the datum. Using the new capability to dimension to planes really helps out here. With the new capability to dimension the theoretical circle intersecting the plane and the surface, it means you now have much more control over the definition of the drafted form. The dimensions we see on screen are probably a little large, and you now have total control over the text scale, not just preset ratios. This really helps when dimensioning really large or really small models. So those were some of the great improvements in the way that you can accurately define and organise product manufacturing information in SOLIDWORKS 2017. Let's now take a look at the ways we've improved how you can communicate all that critical information with others. The PDF template editor sees many improvements that will help you publish accurate and visually appealing 3D PDFs. Control of text size and fonts is now much easier with direct control using a new dialog box. The new Format Painter also makes life much easier when you need a consistent look to multiple text objects. It's also now simple to align multiple text boxes using the new Align tool. The newly modified text can now be simply copied and pasted onto the second sheet, saving a lot of time and effort. You now have the ability to quickly and easily create rectangles to give the PDF a more professional look. After snapping into place, you can adjust the fill and border colour and even define rounded corners. The existing Notes PDF form field is now hidden behind the newly created rectangle. This can be easily fixed by using the new Reorder tool to send the rectangle to the back and expose the form field. Previously, any sheet containing the primary 3D view had to be the front sheet. You can now reorder sheets, for example making this information sheet page 1. You can now rename PDF sheets to help identify content. So we've seen how Template Editor in SOLIDWORKS 2017 will save time and effort in creating great looking 3D PDFs for anyone to view. Let's turn our attention to the publishing of PDFs in more detail. SOLIDWORKS 2017 now gives you more control over the quality of the final 3D PDF, giving you a balance between accuracy and file size. You can now also attach any file to the PDF, for example a vendor approval or material specification. Finally, you can now automatically attach a STEP AP242 file, allowing downstream consumers to manufacture parts directly. After selecting the 3D views we wish to publish, along with the template we just created, the PDF is ready to go. Within the attachments of the PDF, you can see the step AP242 file along with the vendor approval form. Everything you may need to manufacture this part can be stored within a single PDF file. Notice that sketches from within SOLIDWORKS, such as this surrounding data or even explode lines in an assembly, are now published into the PDF. This lets you give extra information to your suppliers above and beyond the 3D data. So, some great improvements to the way you can organise and publish 3D PDFs out to your ecosystem. Finally, let's take a look at the scenario where there are multiple iterations of a design and the changes between them may not be so obvious. Typically, engineers will study marked up 2D drawings, but the new 3D PMI Compare Wizard takes the pain out of this process. Unique elements are highlighted in purple, such as the position and width of this slot. Modified data is shown in green, such as these subtle changes to the material condition of this hole as well as the tolerance of the diameter. Finally, all of this information is available as a handy report. Simply give the report a name and SOLIDWORKS MBD generates a HTML report that can be used in design or manufacturing reviews. This all means you are much better informed to the changes that are heading your way and are much less likely to miss something critical. SOLIDWORKS 2017 really delivers some great enhancements to model-based definition to help you work better together with your supply chain.